We are seeing yet another absolutely crazy day in the markets here. Now, there are three main reasons as to why we are seeing the trading action across the board that we are today, and one of them actually involves some intelligence agencies across the globe here. So there are a lot of moving parts, guys. Markets are moving all over the place. We're going to be breaking down everything that we've seen today and what you guys need to be looking for moving forward. And also, we're going to be talking and providing another update here to those two sectors that I've been pounding the table on over the last couple of weeks here. We started to see again that significant movement to the upside in those today, and I want to give you guys an update on that as well and what to look for there. So before we get into all of that information, everybody, if you guys do enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you guys are, and turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos do end up getting posted live. And as always, massive shout out to all the members of my private trading and investing community. Less trades, more profits. I'm going to throw up some of the gain screenshots from over the last couple of days and weeks here. Absolutely insane results from the group as always here. Again, if you've been paying attention to those videos and live streams I've been doing about the crypto space, you would have been able to nail that Coinbase trade as well. That absolutely massive one. So for those of you guys that are interested in becoming self-sufficient in the markets going throughout the rest of 2026, make sure you check out that link down below. Get 2 weeks free to the LTMP group and find out why everybody loves the group so much. So without further ado, let's get into everything over here. The first thing that we need to start talking about is some of the really key pieces of economic data that we have received over the last couple of trading days here. This is the first reason why the market is trading the way that it is today. So what we're looking at here is the ISM Services PMI. So this is measuring the overall economic activity effectively in the services sector in the United States. Readings above 50 are going to signal, again, economic expansion. Readings below 50 are going to signal economic contraction. And we have seen some pretty solid readings ever since October of 2025 here, above 50 for a significant period of time. And we also saw the reading that came out today that came in at 56.1 points here, really significantly beat the market's expectations. So the services sector definitely has been reaccelerating. But what the market was really looking for was for the manufacturing sector to also catch up, which over the last 2 months, that is what we have started to see. Right here, this is ISM manufacturing, and we saw again in January this reading come in at 52.6, and then we recently saw earlier this week ISM manufacturing come out at 52.4 points. So looking at this one-off reading here in January, again, it's solid to get ourselves back into that expansionary territory, but what the market wanted to see was consistency out of these numbers, which is exactly what this February reading is starting to set into motion here. But generally speaking, this is signaling that economic activity is reaccelerating to the upside here. Again, we have seen a little bit hotter than expected inflation. The unemployment rate has ticked a little bit to the downside here, which is one of the reasons why we aren't necessarily seeing these sustained movements to the upside in the bond market. These are T-bond futures here. Again, a lot of people were looking at the market over the last week or so here in looking for these areas of the market that were going to serve as a flight to safety. But if oil is moving to the upside, we have inflation already peaking back up. And then obviously, again, economic activity starting to reaccelerate here. It doesn't really make sense for these rate cut expectations to go higher and higher, which is why we are seeing the movements in the bond market that we are seeing right now. Now, moving over to the equity market here, when we take a look at the S&P 500 futures, like I was saying in the live stream over the last like 24 hours here, kind of the worst case scenario would be if we were to fall significantly down below this bottom side of this range here and then immediately shoot back to the upside. Now, there was a little bit of a caveat to that. With what we're seeing now, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about the more, let's call them risk-on sectors of the market, what we are seeing now is slightly different than what we were seeing across the board in these periods of chop and consolidation. that we were seeing over the last couple of weeks and really all of 2026 so far. So there is a slight difference here that we will discuss. So that does make this move back to the upside, in my opinion, a little bit more likely to stick. But with the, again, overall uncertain nature with what we're dealing with in the Middle East right now, we still have to be very careful. So let's get into this second reason here why markets, again, are starting to move back to the upside today. We have Trump offering U.S. insurance and military escorts to energy tankers in the Middle East, specifically talking about this Strait of Hormuz. Now, the reason why the U.S. would be looking to take action such as this is, again, when we come over here and take a look at oil prices, they've almost gone vertical over the last week or so here. And for the United States and for basically any country across the world here, we do not want to see oil prices starting to move in a parabolic fashion. That is going to increase the cost of everything here, and that is not what anybody wants in their respective countries and economies at this point in time. So this new development is providing a little bit of relief in the oil markets today. Oil, again, is pretty much flat, but it is a positive sign that we are not seeing oil continuously raging to the upside here. Now, one of the last reasons why we are starting to see, again, the market trading the way that it is today is we did see a report that operatives from Iran's Ministry of Intelligence signaled openness to the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to talks on ending the war, the New York Times reported on Wednesday, citing officials briefed on the matter. So, when we think about the entire geopolitical situation here, again, this is not a political commentary channel. We're not going to get into all of the specific reasons why this conflict is happening, all of the different storylines behind it. But what we do know for sure is that this is an election year in the United States. We do have midterms coming up. And we know from comments made by, again, Trump administration representatives here that the way the market is performing is a very key determining factor on whether or not they can say that their administration or the efforts that they are making are a success. You can agree with that, you can disagree with that, but that is what they are looking at when they are trying to determine if they are being successful. And as we know, in those proceedings that we saw recently about a certain set of files, again, Pam Bondi started citing that the Dow was over 50,000, and why would we be really concerned with a lot of the contents of those files here. So when we think about this conflict in the Middle East, it is in the United States' best interest here to get this resolved as fast as possible so that the markets can look towards that light at the end of the tunnel and that buying pressure can start coming back into the market. But we have already started to see that happen. If you have been paying attention to the videos that I've been making for you guys on this channel over the last couple of days, paying attention to the posts that I've been making on my X account or even on the live streams here, we started to see some very interesting action on some of the areas of the market that the market would deem to be the most risky in these types of environments. So over the weekend, obviously, we saw this conflict starting to escalate in the Middle East. Now, if I were to just show you this Bitcoin chart right here, basically Friday into Sunday here and into Monday, again, and you didn't know what was happening in the Middle East, again, you would think that everything is fine. There's not really any crazy pieces of news happening. And what this tells us is that when these types of areas of the market in these sectors failed to continue to sell off on bad news, that can be a very bullish indicator for the short and medium term. And that is what we have been highlighting over here time and time again. We are finally starting to get this break to the upside in Bitcoin here, which is signaling to us as market participants that investors are more willing now than they were over the last couple of weeks to take on additional risk. Now, what it also is telling us here is that, well, we are seeing some, let's call it guidance from the Trump administration and some of the officials here that this conflict could continue for a period of weeks, a little bit longer than a month here. But the fact that we are seeing a lot of these risk assets starting to get bid to the upside would suggest that the market doesn't actually believe that this conflict is either going to continue to spread or last as long as a lot of people think it would right now. And this is exactly what I mean when I say things are slightly different now on this market move back to the upside than they were when the market was chopping around over the last couple of weeks here, where Bitcoin was just kind of edging its way to the downside here. We are also seeing things like, again, software breaking out to the upside, another sector that I've been trying to highlight for you guys on this channel here over the last couple of weeks. We're seeing a lot of these software names continue to make very significant moves out of their short to medium term basis here. One of them, again, Microsoft, looking very solid here. We have ServiceNow starting to make some aggressive moves to the upside. Palantir, which is kind of going to double dip again on software and defense, also moving aggressively to the upside. But when we take a look at the actual defense sector ETF here today, yeah, it's up 0.8%, but even after all of this conflict had been unfolding in the Middle East here, we would expect this aerospace and defense sector ETF to be up a lot more, and that is not what we are seeing. So as market participants, we have to be very aware of where money is actually flowing throughout the system here. We know that the conflict has started to escalate in the Middle East, and we would then assume that these defense stocks would be catching more of a bid here. They're not. And also in this environment, we wouldn't expect those risk-on assets there, Bitcoin, software, these beaten down areas of the market to make these significant moves to the upside. And that tells us something very important here. It tells us that the way that, again, the everyday person is going to be looking at this market here and operating based on what we would usually expect to happen can't be the way that we are looking at this market right now. This is exactly why that in almost every video and all of the live streams, we're looking at all of these different sectors here. Software, we're looking at the relationship between the equity market and Bitcoin, the bond market, oil, gold, silver, any of these other commodities here to actually see where large money is flowing into, because that gives us an idea of what is actually going to be driving the market moving forward, because the individuals that are putting their money where their mouth is and have the analytical capability to back that up, again, a lot of the times aren't going to be completely incorrect. So that is mainly going to wrap up this video, guys. Hopefully for those of you that were confused on why we were seeing the action that we are seeing today, understand kind of where we're seeing this money flow now and why we are seeing the bid come back into the market today. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to all realize that we still need to proceed with a heightened degree of, again, cautious optimism here, even though things are looking a little bit better now at these same levels than they were a couple of weeks ago. So that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this one, make sure you go down and hit that like button. Costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you guys are and turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos do end up getting posted live. But until next time, guys, I will see you. Peace.